I'm going to tie a dabbler, but I'm going to cheat. Dabblers are beautiful flies to look at, and they can be extremely effective to fish, but they can be a bit of a pain to tie. But I'm going to show you a real shortcut for dabblers. And again, similar to that fly, similar but not the same. I would fish a dabbler on the point more than a bob fly. So I'm going to use this Stillwater wet hook. It's a size 8. Again, it's a heavy wire. And guys, if there's any questions while I'm tying, or you think I'm not doing it right, just please let me know, and I'll tell you fuck off.
Does that hand gauge fit the gauge then?
Sorry?
Does that hand gauge fit the gauge?
It does, aye.
Really?
It does fit the gauge.
Right.
Surprisingly, but not that worries me so much anymore.
No.
Yeah, it'd probably be better on a 6 actually. It's a big fly, and I think as I get older, the bigger the hook, the better, really, because I can't see it. Small hooks are murder. Yeah, even size 8. I mean, that looks quite. Oh, wait a minute, that's better. Yeah, it still fits within the gauge, so it's still quite a small hook. Does any? I mean, you boys, some of you are my age. You must have trouble seeing.
They all use magnifiers. Yeah. I couldn't put a hook on my.
At home, I mean, I brought this because I'm tying here, but at home I've got this big, massive magnifying glass that comes in front of the, and I still need the glasses as well. I've just got a new prescription. I've got to pick up new glasses soon. Anyway, let's get on with this. Again, for easy use, I'm going to be using the nano silk, and again, I'm going to just put a touch of super glue onto the shank. Now, people often say you can't use super glue because it discolours the fly down the line, but I've never found that, and it's nothing special. This is just Loctite, you get from Robert Dias, and I've never had a problem with that. Perhaps other super glues may leave a residue, but I've not had a problem. And I just find that if I just use wax and then I take my fly afterwards, it will spin round on the hook if you're using nano silks, and you don't want that. So bed of thread down approximately to where a barb is on a barbed hook, and I'm going to be using some of this. God, help me out. Bronze mallard. It's bronze mallard. I knew that one actually because it's written on the back. Okay. I got this for Ireland, and it was recommended to me by a friend in Scotland. He said, because what I wanted was these darker feathers with the bronze mallard. I'll just show that to the camera. See, they're a lot darker. Some of the bronze mallards you get nowadays, especially, that's not a very good feather, is it? It's better. It's a lot lighter, so there is the odd light one in there, but I like, for this pattern, I like this to be dark. So what I'm going to do is take away this bottom end. You see where it's damaged here at the tip? I just want to get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is take approximately 1.5 centimetres. It's lent itself to it. I'm going to bring it out at a 90-degree angle for the stem, and then I'm going to take that off. Now I'm going to grab the tips. It's quite difficult to show this on camera actually, and I have tried several times, but what I want to do is the dark side, I want to fold that in half, and it's going to be, how well you can see that, but there we go. Yeah, so now regardless of what way I turn it, I've got the dark feather showing. Now the tail I want to be about 1.5 lengths of the hook. And I'm going to catch that in. That's too long. That's better. Yeah. And then I can remove that. Now, if you're not happy with something, and we're all the same, you know, whether you've been tying for years or you've just started up, you'll be pedantic about getting it right. And if you finish tying the fly and you've not been happy with the way you started, you'll end up getting your Stanley knife out and just cutting it again. So if you've made an error, it's always better to go back and just correct it at the time. Which is hard when there's a bunch of people sitting watching you. You know, John wakes up in the morning and watches me on YouTube. That's worrying me, that.
I thought that was just between you and me.
Yeah. Signed photos later, John. You know, the topless ones.
Well, there's no happy ending.
Okay, so as I said, we're going to cheat with this dabbler. Now, traditionally, I would tie, as I did with a wet, a wire ribbon, and then I would dub it, and then I would hackle it. But I'm going to cheat by using some of this stuff. So this is Straggle Fritz, and this one's in purple. Now I was looking for some claret, because claret makes a really nice one, but I couldn't find the claret. I have got it, I just can't find it. But I thought this would be quite an interesting colour. In America, flies with purple in are extremely popular. I don't know why, but they are. Okay, so catch that Straggle Fritz in, and then I can simply come up the fly, and all I'm doing is I'm pulling the Straggle Fritz to the rear. Now again, with the dabbler, it's really important that you leave yourself plenty of room at the front of the fly. So I'm just pulling back all the bits, getting a couple of turns in before I come in with my scissors and remove that. There is, I use another Straggle Fritz that's got a much denser body than this. And it looks much better actually. I'm not so keen on this thinner stuff, but do for now. Okay, for this one I'm going to invert the vise. Is that still working? Yeah. And again, I'm going to look for a good feather. And I'm going to take approximately about the same as what I did for the tail, for the throat. Pull it out. Then again, I'm going to fold it. Right, that's my phone. Who's phoning? Okay, so I've got this like that. Now what I want to do is I want to cloak the fly. So with a throat hackle, I'm going to dress it up, and I want it to come just into the throat of the hook. Once I've caught that in, just let's see what it's like on your side. So it looks great on my side. Unfortunately, you can't see that. So I want to just roll it around the hook. And that's better. A couple of turns to hold it into place. A couple of turns in front of the eye there. Then I can come in and just remove that. So, just so you'll see, there is some material here cloaking the eye. I'm going to sort that out when I do the overwing. Okay, so that's looking not too bad. Now, with the overwing, I don't like the look of that. So when I'm tying these in bulk, what I like to do is just get the feathers all ready before I start, really, which I've not done tonight. So here we go. Yeah, see how dark that is, that looks lovely. So I'm just going to, again, I'm going to discard the bit of the feather I don't want, and I'm going to pull out, this time, a little bit more. So I'm probably getting to around 2.5 centimetres now. Just pulling it out for the stalk. And again, I'm going to rip that away. And then just once more, fold it in half. Now I want my wing to come right past the body of the fly by about 0.5 centimetre. I'm going to use my thumb and forefinger in my left hand just to roll that around. A couple of turns. And I'm not happy with that. I've done exactly what I did with the throat. And then lock it into place. Always check. And that's still not right. That's better. Okay, once you've got a couple of turns in, front, try and catch up some of that material that was cloaking my eye, and then I can snip that away. Now you can see the purple's almost covered now, which is what I want, because once it's wet, what you'll get is little glints of that colour coming through. Now the other thing to notice is, because I'm using the nano silk, the head again is still quite small. Now you can just finish this off, finish the head, or you can add eyes. Now jungle cock's becoming increasingly difficult to get a decent cape at reasonable money. So a lot of the flies I tie now, I only get this out for the very special people. I tend to just tie in goose biots because they're readily available, and they don't cost an arm and a leg. So what I've got is one feather, and I'm going to split it. So with jungle cock, very often, unless you've got a really good quality one, you'll find it's got a natural split in it. So I'm going to lay that onto the top of the hook and use my thumb and forefinger just to split that feather. I'll get a couple of turns like so. Check that it's sitting right. It's looking pretty decent on my side as well, so I'll get a couple of turns in front, and then I can come in like so, and then all that remains is for me to finish off. Now, quite a lot of work to do with this. I want a reasonably big head. And again, it's going to do a similar job to the wet fly I've just shown you. And there we go. It's obviously, while I've been demonstrating it, it might seem slow, but when you're tying up a load of these, it's so much quicker than doing it the traditional way.